Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about some juicy trade rumors for your Kansas City Chiefs, beginning with Seattle Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III. Could he be on his way to KC? And what about David Njoku of the Cleveland Browns? We know Travis Kelce's not getting any younger. Could the Chiefs be looking for some help at the tight end position? We'll discuss both those possibilities and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's program, my friends, we have a sub-battle going on between the Chiefs Report and Bills Breakdown, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. Tyler Smith wanted to battle us and see who could pick up the most subscribers for the month of April. And we got a close contest already between these two channels, folks. Subscribe now for free for daily Chiefs coverage, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. As we are talking news and rumors, we're doing live shows every Tuesday, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. So subscribe now for free and never miss a moment of the latest happenings of your Kansas City Chiefs each and every day. youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Let's start with Kenneth Walker. Bleacher Report is suggesting that the Seattle Seahawks trade running back Kenneth Walker III, and there have been discussions in league circles about who that team could be if he's ultimately dealt. And the Kansas City Chiefs have been one of the teams that have come up in those talks. So what about bringing K9 to KC? Here's more from Alex K., Bleacher Report. Since averaging that respectable 4.6 yards per carry mark in 2022, Walker has seen his efficiency dip to 4.1 yards per carry in 2023 and a concerning 3.1 yards per carry last season. Part of the reason is Seattle's inconsistent offensive line, but Walker hasn't looked as dynamic as he did in year one in recent seasons. Despite the regression, there's still reason to believe Walker's best years are ahead of him. He's been dealing with injuries that limited him to just 11 games last year and could improve with a clean bill of health. He's gotten more involved in the passing game over the years, too, culminating in a career-best 46-catch, 299-yard, one-touchdown stat line in 2024. Now, I know people are talking about this, of Kenneth Walker and the idea of potentially him going to the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think much has been overblown about this Kansas City Chiefs running back room needing to make an upgrade and looking for reinforcements and improvements here at this point. I think the running back room of the Kansas City Chiefs is just fine. Isaiah Pacheco, I know, did not look the same coming back from injury. You got Kareem Hunt there. I really like the draft pick of Brashard Smith. You have Elijah Mitchell, who you brought in. I don't think that you have to go outside your walls to go find another running back, that you can roll with what you have and be in pretty decent shape. And the Kansas City Chiefs over the years have done a good job of not overpaying, not overspending at the running back position and using that money elsewhere and other things. Not to mention Kenneth Walker III. Granted, the offensive line situation in Seattle, I would know a thing or two about that, by the way, has not been good. All right? But he has been very injury-prone. He has been banged up a lot in all 3 seasons he's been in Seattle. And I don't necessarily think that that's going to get better with age as he gets older, these injury issues. And we've already seen Isaiah Pacheco get banged up a decent amount. I don't know if you want another injury-prone running back in this rotation. But nonetheless, Kenneth Walker III, a former second-round pick out of Michigan State, had a fantastic rookie season in 2022 as he was named to the Pro Football Writers Association's All-Rookie team. He's led Seattle in rushing each of the last 3 seasons, but we have seen his numbers have steadily declined year by year in Seattle. He rushed for over 1,000 yards as a rookie with 4.6 yards a carry and 9 touchdowns. But since then, in the same number of games played in 2023, his yardage went down, his yards per carry went down, his touchdowns went down. And last year, played in just 11 games, his yardage was down significantly to 573. His average was down almost a full yard from what it was in 2022 to 3.7. And his touchdown rate was down to 7 last year. And you look at this running back room for Kansas City. If Pacheco is healthy, he's the top 5 running back in football. That is a big if, though. We don't know if he is going to be the same player that he once was. Kareem Hunt is solid in short yardage situations. Elijah Mitchell brings some speed to the table. Steele is still around. And Brashard Smith, I think, has a lot of potential. I really liked that draft pick, bringing him over from SMU. I think you're just fine at the running back position. Walker's trade value is about a day 3 pick. The Chiefs have 7 total picks in next year's draft right now. Personally, it's a no from me. I think that Kenneth Walker is a talented football player, but with the injury issues, only have 1 more year remaining on his rookie contract, and then seeing that his numbers have gone down the way that they have, I don't really see the need to go make a push to trade for Kenneth Walker. All pass. Now let's ask you, should the Chiefs trade for Kenneth Walker III? It's our pinned comment today. Your chance to be the GM here on the Chiefs Report. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Type T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in and let us know. Here's another trade idea. What about David Njoku of the Cleveland Browns? Last Word on Sports has named the Chiefs as a top trade destination for the Browns tight end, as the Browns are apparently looking at potentially moving on from Njoku. So what about the idea of bringing him to KC? Here's more from Last Word on Sports. This might be the last season for veteran superstar tight end Travis Kelce. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes and Kelce couldn't figure things out at the beginning of the 2024 campaign as the chemistry was off. Marquise Brown is returning, but he's only in it to win a ring and may want a high-paid contract elsewhere if he impresses this upcoming season. There are positive signs for Xavier Worthy despite the offseason troubles. Meanwhile, wide receiver Rashee Rice may miss some time due to a possible suspension. Whatever happens, they need a long-term tight end to replace Kelce, and Njoku could fit that bill. Now, here's my question. As I've seen all these rumors that people are talking about of the Chiefs needing to pick up another tight end, why are we selling Jared Wiley short? You spent, what was it, a 4th-round pick on Jared Wiley? And all the pro comps for Jared Wiley were to Travis Kelce. Have we forgotten that he still exists, that he's on this Kansas City Chiefs team? I think we all know what the Chiefs have in Noah Gray. And Noah Gray is one of the best number 2 tight ends in all of football, but he'll never be an elite tight end. That's okay. Jared Wiley, I think, has a much higher ceiling than what Noah Gray does. Why do they need to invest in the tight end position when they still don't even know what they have in Jared Wiley at this point in time? Not to mention, back to Njoku for a second, I think the guy is one of the most overrated players in the entire NFL. He has, in his whole career, with all this talk about David Njoku this, David Njoku that, he's only had 1 really good season. He's been pretty average for the most part in his career. So why should that be viewed, David Njoku, as the long-term answer at the tight end position for the Kansas City Chiefs? What am I missing here when it comes to Njoku? Because I'm not seeing it in the production that he has shown in his career. We'll go over those stats here in just a bit. But let's ask you, your chance to sound off. Should the Chiefs trade for David Njoku? Type Y for yes, in for no. Chime in the comment section. Tell me if you think they should trade for Njoku or not. Got a great deal for Chiefs fans. Rookie jerseys are on sale now. Chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys. Josh Simmons, when he gets his number, you will get the jersey with his number. And there's also other Chiefs rookies available at that same link, chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys, where you can get yours today. Maybe you're not feeling a rookie jersey. That's fine, too. They have other options like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, among others. Go see for yourself now, chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Get yours today, chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys. More on David Njoku. He was a 2017 first-round pick out of Miami, a Pro Bowler back in 2023, where he had by far his best year statistically. It was his only season with over 800 yards receiving in his career. And you look at the numbers, here's what we're talking about here. 882 yards, 6 touchdowns. But otherwise, it's just been okay. It hasn't been great. I don't see what others are seeing of him being the long-term solution when you look at his numbers of just 500 yards this past season, 628 in 2022, 475 in 2021. And then you start to break it down even further. Well, he's in the last season of his current contract. So if the Chiefs or any team for that matter is going to trade for Njoku, they're also going to have to give him a long-term contract extension as well. And I was talking to our guy Matthew Peterson, the host of the Cleveland Browns report here at Chat Sports, and I said, hey, what's a team looking for? What's it going to cost for David Njoku? And his answer to me was about a third-round pick. A third-round pick for 1 year of 800-plus yards receiving. No way, Jose. Hell no. I will pass on the idea of trading for David Njoku. I'll ride with what I got. I'll look at other options for cheaper, younger, than having to settle for David Njoku here. And one thing I'll add to this before we go to is for all this discussion that everybody's been making about finding the long-term solution for Travis Kelce here, there is some truth to this. But I think you have enough with Travis Kelce and Noah Gray and potentially Jared Wiley as well that you can get through for this season. I don't think this is a Band-Aid, a solution that you have to find at this very present moment. I think you're going to get enough out of Kelce and Gray and Wiley to circle back next offseason to find that long-term replacement solution. There were so many people out there that said, Chiefs got to draft a tight end. They're going to go find somebody. Well, Kelce came back. They didn't have to do this right away. They'll get to it at some point. It doesn't have to be right now. I think they're okay for now, and they can kick the curve down to the road if they need to on figuring out this tight end position long-term as long as Kelce's there. So, between these two cats, if you had to pick one to trade for, which one would you rather have? Kenneth Walker III or David Njoku? Type K9 for Kenneth Walker III. Type DN for David Njoku. Weigh in the comments section and let us know. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.